thoughts on the three-man class that you guys announced yesterday, and just your thoughts on each guy?
Well, really excited. We Jackson and Mookie, because they're here in the state, we've known for a long time, and they've been coming to our camps since they were in junior high. So, um, those two guys been a long time coming. We're really excited about both of them. They're both guys that want to be at the University of Oregon, and I think they both have tremendous upside. Jackson is someone who's in the gym all the time, really has improved his shooting, and ball handling's always been good. So, good decision maker, a willing passer. He's going to make everybody around him better. Mookie's a fantastic athlete, needs to continue to develop his skill level. But, I really like the progress he's made, and I think that he'll continue to make. KJ is someone that's been on a radar for a couple years, and really love his skill level. He's really got great basketball savvy for a guy his size, can shoot the three, really good passer. As he gets stronger, I think you'll really see him even make more plays. But all three guys, we're looking forward to, them joining our program, and the transition to college is always different for everybody, but all three of those guys are very talented.
What do you make of just your staffs? You had a lot of turnover staff-wise, to then go out and sign this big of a, this talented of a class in its first year.
Well, we're still at University of Oregon, and we, like I said, been on Mookie and Jackson forever. So, when you get players like that in your state, it's really good to keep them home. When I first got here, Garrett Sim and EJ Singler, just, man, were they, really good for our program, and Peyton obviously had a, really good career. So, no, I'm pretty excited about, those two guys. And then KJ, that was a long process, but, I've always liked his basketball savvy and his skill level.
I'm curious with Mookie, what was that process like? Obviously, it was a long road in his recruitment with the commitment, decommitment, recommitment. How was it getting him back in the fold?
I don't ever really take that as an insult or anything. I mean, young guys, there's a lot thrown at them, and I just kept telling them, we want you here if this is where you want to be. I continue to maintain a young man can't be successful unless he really wants to be here, and so, we continued to recruit him, didn't change anything. And he told us right away, that, I'm decommitting, but I still may come, and I said, well, that's fine. Think about it. If this is the right spot for you, great. If you decide and your parents decide it's not, we understand. I've been told no a lot more than I've been told yes in the recruiting process. So, it's, again, those guys want to be here. And I really felt, even when he decommitted, that, when he did some soul searching and it came back, he's wanted to be here for a long time. He's told me that, he and Jackson never played hard to get. They always said, Coach, I've always wanted to be at Oregon. I've watched you guys for a long time, and always wanted to be at Oregon. So, I still felt pretty comfortable that we might still get him.
As far as Mookie, has this filming been finished, or do you get to watch any of that? And
no, I don't care to. No, that was all done last spring. From what I understand, I think his movie career's on hold for a while here, but no, he did film all that last April and May.
Without obviously going too far down the comparison train, there was a kid that played here for a while that was from Westland. Do you see any similarities between Jackson and Peyton?
Well, they're each their own guy. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, there's one. They both are tremendous workers. They love to be in the gym. So, uh, Jackson's a different player than Peyton. And he'll make his own mark. But the one thing that I loved is, getting up in the morning and go watching him work out at 6:30 in the morning. That was an early morning, but the fact that he was there and was doing it every day, just like Peyton did, um, that excites me about a ball player. Somebody wants to get up and work, and so like I said, he's a different player than Peyton. He's going to make his own mark, but the one thing they do have in common is they love ball. They love to be in the gym.
Prior to your arrival, it wasn't always a case that an in-state kid wanted to be here. But what do you feel like that says about this program and just what you guys have been able to accomplish that in-state kids want to stay home?
Well, it's not always a fit depending on the year. We've had some other good players in the state that, just because of the makeup of our roster, it wasn't a good fit at the time. But no, getting guys that, can come in and make an immediate impact, or guys we're looking at. And but no, I think it's a credit to our whole athletic department, that the brand, the profile, whatever you want to say, of our athletic department, helps us to keep young men at home, young ladies at home, and so, it's always good when you get guys that grow up wanting to be Ducks. I think, I think that's, they're in it for the long haul. They'll go through the ups and downs. Nobody's career goes like that. It's ups and downs. And when a guy grows up around the program, they have a tendency to be invested.
Both Mookie and KJ have a relationship. I mean, growing up at AAU, a lot of these people know each other, but from what I've heard, they've got a friendship. How do you feel like that really played into both of them coming here together?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they were depending on each other, but, all the guys know each other. I mean, they all play against each other, and EYBL, the summer circuit, they're together in the spring, USA basketball and that. So, all the different camps, they know each other pretty well. And with communication, they stay in touch with each other all the time. So, they've known each other for a long time, and those relationships never hurt.
We've got, I think, 6 guys on scholarship right now that are seniors. Do you anticipate adding more in the spring, or just kind of what's your approach?
I have no idea. I wish I knew. A couple guys have COVID decisions they can make. The transfer portal. Like I said, it's a different game. You really don't know who's in it. So you got to stay flexible. You got to do some type of recruiting every day. Just to kind of protect yourself. But I don't know how many guys we'll have back. I don't know, how the season will go. And guys have a lot more opportunities, a lot more choices now than they ever had, because they don't have to sit out, and people recruiting your guys, you got to re-recruit your guys. So it's a different landscape than it was. But to answer your question on how many we'll have available in the spring, as I'm sitting here on November 10th, and I really have no idea.
Could you see NIL helping guys stay here in college, maybe not necessarily at Oregon, but just in college longer, because the opportunities, they don't have to go right away to make money?
Well, that seems to be the case, with some of the other programs around the country. I would hope, that, they look at all their opportunities. The G League doesn't pay very well at all, and overseas opportunities, sometimes are not the right fit for young men. So, I think a lot of young men are looking at those opportunities to stay, develop one more year, make sure they finish their degree, maybe work on a master's degree, and financially, do really well because you're still on full ride scholarship and you're getting a little NIL money. That's, you go out in the working world and we all know those expenses pile up pretty quick. And when you're on a full ride, it takes away all those expenses. So anyway, it hasn't affected us yet, but, if guys want to stay here, want to finish their degrees, want to work on a master's degree, whatever the case may be, it would sure be interesting to look at those possibilities.
Jackson may have surprised some people by playing football his senior year. Is that something you signed off on? What are your kind of thoughts on him?
Oh, absolutely. No, he called and said he wanted to play football his senior year, and I said, hey, if it's something you want to do, it's, you get one senior year, and I want to win a state championship with my teammates and my friends. And, I don't know if they're asking our permission or just telling us, but I wasn't going to stop it. No, heck, like I said, you get one senior year, make the best of it. You get one opportunity to go to college, do everything you can, so no, I had no problem with it all. Now they got 3 games, yet to play. I hope they, are successful and he moves on to basketball. But no, it's I love guys who want to compete, and Jackson wants to compete. So I had no problem with it at all.
How much do you feel like juniors being able to take official visits helped with this class? I think all 3 of them were here last season before they took their officials this fall.
Well, it's kind of a mixed emotion for me because, some guys, they're not ready to make a decision. They just want to go take their visits, since it's there, and we have such a limited number of them. I'm always hesitant, until a young man's got it narrowed down to a few schools, to do that. We've brought in 1 junior so far, and, we might bring in some others, but, until they let us know that they're down to a few and we feel comfortable that they're down to a few, that they're just not trying to get 5 this year and 5 next year. I like guys that have an interest in us, when people contact us or guys contact us about an interest, that at least lets me know we're in the playing field. And again, going back, we've been told no a lot more than we've been told yes. So when you're trying to get 5 or 6 guys, you're recruiting maybe 20, 25, 30 guys. So maybe more than that some years.
Okay, you got UC Irvine tomorrow night. What are you expecting out of them?
Well, I watched some of their film from a year ago because they have a lot of players returning, and then they won their exhibition game, which we got a copy of that. So they got guards that can score. Russ does a tremendous job. We played him in 2019 tournament, and so Russ is a really good coach. They got experienced guards, so that's always dangerous, and we're going to have to play better. Our guys are going to have to compete. We had a good practice yesterday. I hope we have a good one today, and we're ready to go tomorrow night at 8:00. But Cal Irvine's talented, experienced guards, and well-coached team. We're going to have to play.
Pretty much dominated for A&M, except for, even though you had anemic, poor three-point shooting. Generally, in game-like situations in practice or whatever you've been in, how has the three-point shooting been? Was that just very unusual, or is that something that's going to really...
Well, we took some bad ones, which I thought got us out of rhythm. We talked about that. But no, Keyshawn shot it well. Will shot it well. You know, so those two guys, I think, were 2 for 8, 2 for 8. And I know they can shoot it. You know, they've shot it well in practice, and, you know, they've proven in years past that they can shoot it. So that's not a concern. You know, we got Big Cleo going 1 for 2, so he 50%. He did his job, and he's been, you know, he's been pretty consistent in practice. Doesn't take a lot of them, but, you know, he takes good ones. You know, there's a lesson to be learned in that. You know, there's a big difference between taking a good 3 and a bad 3. So I don't give us any points for degree of difficulty. So, you know, you got to take good shots, and so no, we'll shoot it better. I don't think, you know, will we be a great 3-point shooting team and depend on the 3-pointer? Not with Dante, you know, not with Khalil. We want him to get inside. We want Quincy to be inside more, you know. Nate can get inside more. So, you know, we want to have a balanced attack, and you know, there's such a fine line there between, you know, giving your guys the freedom to shoot it, but yet reminding them the difference between a good one and a bad one. You know, that I've always, you know, guys can never be looking over their shoulders on whether it was, you know, did coach want me to shoot that, you know. But the ones we practice, you know, penetration, kick, catch, shoot, you got a good one there. You know, old coaching said nothing about those, but, you know, a lot of dribble jumpers, you know, between the legs, step backs, you know, it's low percentage shot. It's low percentage shot in the NBA, and they got a lot more time to work on their jumpers than we do. And so, you know, if you're going to take a bad one, you know, I still got to point that out, but I still want them to feel comfortable taking shots that we practice every day. And especially if their numbers are good in practice, which we have a lot of guys whose numbers are pretty good in practice. So, you know, we'll stay aggressive from 3. You know, we took 24. You know, I think 21, 22 is maybe a good number for us, depending on the amount of possessions in a game. But, you know, we can't get carried away.
Last question.
Do you feel like there's a lot of steals, deflections? Do you think that's translatable? You know, maybe not that exact number every game, but you feel good about the steals and deflections you're keeping?
It's got to be. You know, I mean, if we're, you know, not going to play with our length and get hands on balls and, you know, make plays, then we're going to have a hard time defensively. So, you know, with our length and, you know, Keyshawn's quickness, you know, if again, I know you guys get tired of talking about it, but if we're not a good defensive team and not a good rebounding team, history has proved that hasn't worked out very well for us. And not only my 12 years here, and not only our team, but I think historically, if you've looked at other teams, you know, it's the same. You play 31 games, you're not going to shoot it good every night, you know, and there's going to be other nights where the other team's really shooting it good. So if you're going to have a consistent team or a team that wins some ball games, better guard and rebound. And because for whatever reason, some nights, you know, like you look at some of our shots the other night were wide open, you know, and good shooters shooting them, but they just didn't go. And I told our guys, you have those nights. Dylan Brooks the other night went 6 for 7 from 3, and the next night he goes 0 for 5. You know, it's just one of those things, whether it's the NBA or college. And, you know, I've had some really good shooters. We've had some really good shooters. And the same's true for them. Some nights they're hitting everything. Some nights, you know, one night it looks like this, one night it looks like that. You know, it just is what it is. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night.